Hello from Hannover again. We are here with Greg from Universal Automation. Greg, welcome. Good to see you again.
Hi, Lucien. Good to see you.
So Universal Automation, I first heard of last year in the context of launching it. We're near a new association. Maybe just a refresh for the audience. What is it and how is it different than the existing sort of associations out there?
Yeah. So universalautomation.org is a newly founded association founded by 9 founding members coming from both the user community and the vendor community. So we are in the industrial automation space, obviously. And the goal of this association is to decouple the software, so the application software, from the hardware it runs onto. So just take an example. Today, when you use your smartphone, for example, let's take an Android smartphone, for example, you download an app from the Play Store. You don't ask yourself what is the brand of the smartphone you're using. You just go to the store, download the app that you need that does exactly what you want, and use it on your own devices.
So is the concept of perhaps downloading, let's say, the software from one environment to any of the PLCs out there or any controls that are out there?
Yeah, that's the idea, because today everyone knows you program something for one vendor, for example. You cannot just take that program and put it on another's hardware, vendor's hardware. It's not working.
Got it.
And this is what we want to achieve, a bit like what we have today in the, let's say, in the PC space, in the IT space, basically.
Got it.
So by building this ecosystem of products on which the software is decoupled, we can then enable and foster an ecosystem of libraries, of application. So for example, if tomorrow you want to connect your machine or your plant, for example, to an artificial intelligence, to augmented reality system, to a virtual reality system, today how do you do it? You need either the vendor has done something for you, or you have to have knowledge in-house to find a way to do it with your own architecture. Tomorrow, and with Universal Automation, this means you go to whatever marketplace and find the right library that someone did, and this person is knows about what he's doing, basically, and you can just download it and add it into your own application. So it means you don't have to have all the knowledge in-house.
Makes sense. Now, it resonates some things or some alignment with like SESMI, right, in manufacturing, the Institute of Manufacturing that's focusing on some of these libraries. How is Universal different than SESMI?
So in fact, SESMI is an association on which we are discussing currently, and where we are aligning on the different objectives that we have, because for sure, the common goal is to kind of unlock the industry in general. Where we position ourselves is really on the control, down to the control level, and we provide a technology enabler for all those activities. So you say about SESMI, but I think about, for example, PC Foundation or the OPAF, for example, or Open Industry 4.0 in Alliance in Germany. And what we provide is a technology enabler which can then implement the information models which are defined by those other organizations. So really see us as a kind of a backbone, the fundament for all those associations.
Makes sense. Now, can you talk about some of the memberships and where you've been able to attract maybe other vendors within the association?
Yes. So we, as said, we started in November 2021 with 9 founding members, and now we are around about 35 members with companies such as, for example, Yokogawa, Intel, ESA in Italy, for example, Schneider Electric, obviously from France, and some others, but as well as the user, because we are a group not only focusing on the vendors, but we focus as well on the users, because the users are the one benefiting the most from the technology. So they are here to, let's say, help advance the technology, they support the initiative, and they can influence as well the way the technology is going. Because this technology, it's a shared implementation, it's a shared development as well with all the members. So all the members are their say on what is happening. On the user, I can say something about ExxonMobil, for example. So they have been using the technology for a while already, in different stages in the OPAF testbed, for example, and they will use it after by the end of the year in a real plant application for a full rip and replace application, basically, where they will use this universalautomation.org technology into their own plant.
Thank you for that, and I see. I'm going to throw out a challenge to you, and I'm sorry
Yes.
that we're doing this in a video format, but a challenge is to have a panel conversation with folks from the SESMI, from the OPA, and Universal, and maybe OPC, and sort of sounds similar goals.
Yeah.
So aligning at least the association, and the rest of them hopefully will align within the membership, whether it's the user community or the vendors community within that. What have you seen so far at is day 3 now at a show, or day 4, sorry, at the show after 3.5 days?
So it's our first participation to the Hannover Fair as stand exhibitor, so we are in all 9 G70. We have had a lot of good visits. I can say, for example, about the visit we had from the company called Nestlé, which were quite interested in what we propose. We just posted about it on LinkedIn, so this is quite fresh news. And we count on some other thought leaders such as Nestlé and others. So we had, for example, a great support from Cargill during the fair. They were there, they explained about the technology and so on. So it's not only about universalautomation.org propagating and promoting, it's as well about users and members promoting it.
Right.
Last one we had, Kongsberg Maritime, which has launched its own offer as well, has been there to support us and say how good the technology is.
Right. Now, if someone was watching the audience, right, you hear about Nestle, you hear about Cargill, you hear how Nestle has 384 plants and certainly interconnectivity with multi-vendors, multi-continents, it's huge. What's in it for a small to mid-size end users?
For small to mid-size end users, that's simply first the possibility to get and hold on its intellectual property. Intellectual property in form of software. Because today, small or medium end user will receive multiple machines or multiple processing products from different sites or with different program. When there is the first end of life coming, when it means strong invest in software again to bring it to the next generation, it's as well not having a hold on the code that is having. So we have the example, for example, we have a startup, GR3N, within the association, which is, by the way, one of the founding members, and are starting to implement the technology into their own process. So it's a PET upcycling process, so plastic, and so we're really in the sustainability process area. And they exactly went for UAO technology because they want to really have a hold on the program that they have. And this program, they can implement it, and this independently of the life cycle of the hardware. So if they want to change hardware for whatever reason, they can actually do it without having to change the software. And this is a big value for them, and this is a big value as well for other SMEs.
And to the extent that you can, how long did it take them, roughly, to get there, to decouple those things, the software from the hardware? That process implemented in Universal?
So to implement universal automation, so if you are a vendor, for example, and you have a product, the first prerequisite is to know what operating system the product uses. So we are the runtime, so the technology is based on the runtime execution engine, which sits on the operating system. So if you have Linux, if you have VxWorks, if you have like the normal, let's say, operating system, which are most propagated, it's a matter of a few months. So first a few days to port the runtime, and a few months to launch an offer.
Got
so
it.
If you have an offer which is ready, for example, in 3 months, maybe 6 months, you can get this offer on the market already. So this is the time it takes.
So the end user, basically, he's leveraged something that one of the vendors already developed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's not the user itself is not using the runtime as is.
Right.
But he has to buy the package, basically the product with the runtime embedded from one of the vendors.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
And if you're in the audience and have questions, feel free to post them with the hashtags you see there.